Hello friend and welcome to yoga. My name is Kai and I'll be your guide. Right now I'm at the 110 Yoga Studio in Durham. I just taught a morning class and I've got a little bit of a break in between, so I figured why not record a short flow to share with you. So we'll get started on our backs. Legs extended, arms at our sides. Just beginning to settle in, quieting your mind. And as you begin to lay down and settle into your mat, notice all parts of your body that are making contact with the mat right now. Maybe it's the back of your head, back of your heels, your hands, your shoulder blades, your glutes, your hips. Taking a moment to bring awareness to all points of contact on the mat and allow those parts of your body to feel heavy, supported, grounded. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. One more inhale, filling up. Allow your belly and chest to rise. And then on an exhale, squeeze your belly button to your spine, emptying out all the air from your lungs. Continue to breathe on your own, allowing your breath to lengthen and deepen with each inhale and exhale. And as you focus your attention more on your breath, where do you notice it? Do you notice your breath in the rise and fall of your belly and chest? Can you feel your breath in your shoulders, in your hips, maybe all the way to your fingertips? Sending your breath along your spine to your low back. Releasing any tension in your eyebrows and your jaw. Releasing tension in your shoulders, your hips. Finding complete stillness here. One last breath. Inhale. Exhale, let something go. Slowly begin to blink your eyes open. Maybe you start to invite movement by shaking your head left to right. A soft massage on the back of your skull. Gentle neck movements here. And then on your next inhale, find some stillness. And reach your arms overhead for a full body stretch. Energy all the way from your fingertips to your toes. Roll through your wrists, roll through your ankles, and for about 3 or 4 breaths, just find what feels good here. Might feel good to lean side to side. Whatever you chose, coming back to center now, reaching tall for an inhale. Energy through your fingertips and toes, and then crunch your knees to your chest. Exhale. Let your hands find your shins. Reach tall, inhale. Crunch in, exhale. One more, reach tall. And then crunch. Lift your nose to meet your knees. Wrap your hands around your shins and give yourself a gentle squeeze. Take an inhale. And then exhale, release your head and neck back down to the mat. Your hands find the tops of your knees. Begin making small circles on the ceiling. And then switch the direction of your circle if you haven't already. This low back massage feels so good. Maybe you grab your knees and just sway a little bit back and forth, finding some organic movement, side to side. And then find some stillness. Your hands clasp along your right shin. Your left leg extends long. Let it hover above the mat. Engage your core and hold. Then lower your left leg all the way down. Begin to work into your right hip, moving your knee in and out. The next time you open your hip, pause. Take a deep breath in. Supine twist, bring your knee over to the left side, gaze to the right. Shoulders are glued to the mat. Send your breath all along your spine. Then come back through center, give your knee a squeeze. And then let's switch sides. Bring your left knee in. Right leg extends, let it hover above the mat. Engage your core and hold. And then lower your right leg all the way down. Work into your left hip now, moving your knee in and out. The next time you open your hip, pause. Take a breath in. And then bring your knee over to the right side, gaze to the left, supine twist. One more deep breath. Then back through center. Give your knee a gentle squeeze. Bring your right knee into your chest. And then plant your feet, keeping your knees bent. Keep your heels close to your glutes. Bring your hands down by your sides. Let your fingers graze your heels. We're prepping for bridge pose, so press into your hands and feet. Then lift your hips high. Maybe you adjust your shoulders if that feels good. Tucking your pelvis to engage your core, lifting high with your glutes. Can you feel it in your hamstrings? Can you feel it in your quads as well? Clasp your hands under your glutes for a gentle shoulder opener. 2 more breaths. And then slow and steady release the pose. Figure 4. Left ankle over right knee. Thread the needle and breathe. Maybe you flex your left toes to protect your left knee. Feel your low back press into the mat. Really feeling the stretch in your hips. One last deep breath here. And then we'll switch sides. Right ankle over left knee this time. Thread the needle. Breathe. Low back is pressed into the mat. Maybe your right foot is flexed. And then slow and steady release the pose. Let your hands find the backs of your thighs and begin to rock and roll about 4 times. And on your last one, roll over your feet. We'll meet in tabletop. When you get to table, rock back and forth, noticing what it feels like in your wrists, in your hips, pressing into the tops of your feet and your knees and gripping through your fingertips. Then find some stillness. Cat-cow. On an inhale, lift your gaze, lower your belly. And then on an exhale, round your spine and tuck your pelvis. Inhale, lift your gaze, lower your belly. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your pelvis. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Inhale for cow. And exhale for cat. Press back to child's pose. Allow your forehead to meet the mat. Allow your hips to feel heavy, grounding here in child's pose for a moment. My head's only lifted because when I lean all the way over, I'm really close to the mic. So allow yourself to fold over into child's pose. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Modified plank, lift your gaze to the top of the mat, crawl your fingertips forward and press up to modified plank. Here in modified, find a straight line from your shoulders to your knees. Lift up out of your shoulders, tuck your pelvis. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, lower hover. Press back up, inhale. Lower hover, exhale. Press back up, inhale. Lower hover and hold for 3, 2, 1. Press back up, and then press back to child's. We'll do a mini flow, connecting breath to movement. So modified plank, lift up, inhale. Then from modified plank, lower hover, exhale. Press back up, inhale. And back to child's, exhale. 2 more just like that. Modified plank, inhale. Lower hover, exhale. Press up, inhale. Back to child's, exhale. Very last one, modified plank, inhale. Squeezing your heels to your glutes, engaging your hamstring. Lower hover and hold for 3, 2, 1, then press back up. And to child's. When you're ready, we'll find downward facing dog, tucking your toes, lifting your hips. Roll through your toes, press through your heels, let it feel good. And then find some stillness in your downward facing dog. Gaze shifts to the top of your mat and make your way to forward fold. When you get to forward fold, pause, release your head and neck. Maybe you grab your ankles. Maybe you grab both elbows. Whatever you choose, find a soft bend in your knees. Release your head and neck. Release tension in your eyebrows. Maybe you sway side to side. Maybe you allow your breath to carry you and lift you on the inhale. And let you fold even further on the exhale. Then release your hands down to the mat. 3 halfway lifts. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Halfway lift and pause. Find a straight line from your crown to the base of your spine. Tuck your pelvis. Slight bend in your knees if you need it. Maybe your hands are placed on your shins, or maybe your hands fly by your side, wherever you are, shoulders away from your ears. Then fold back over. Slowly rise up, rolling through your spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. When you get there, reach your arms overhead. Inhale. Open your chest, cactus your arms, exhale. Pause. Can you tuck your pelvis even further? Engaging your core, protecting your low back here, bringing your shoulder blades closer together to open your chest. Reach tall, inhale. Open your chest, exhale. Reach tall, inhale. Open your chest, exhale. Reach tall, inhale. And then release it all, exhale. Halfway lift, flat back, inhale. Fold over, exhale. Plant your hands and step your feet back to plank. Option to stay here in high plank or lower your knees to modify. Whatever you choose, shift forward on an inhale. Lower, hover, exhale. Upward facing dog, inhale. And downward facing dog, exhale. Sun salutation A. Gaze shifts to the top of your mat and make your way to forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Full lift, rise up, inhale. Open your chest, exhale. Reach tall, inhale. Fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Plant your hands and step your feet back to plank. Shift forward, inhale. Lower, hover, exhale. Upward facing dog, pause. In upward facing dog, make sure the tops of your feet and your hands are the only things touching the mat. Protect your low back and allow yourself to feel the opening and the stretch in your chest and upper back region. Then downward facing dog. Awesome job. Walk your feet to your hands, meaning in forward fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Chair. From chair, single leg mountain, right leg lifts. Feel your strength, feel your balance, then back through chair. Your left leg will lift this time, single leg mountain. And back through chair, pause. Can you sit a little lower? Can you tuck your pelvis? Your right leg will lift for single leg mountain. And then how slowly can you move to warrior three? Your right leg extends. We're here for 2 or 3 breaths, so find a place to focus. Lower your right hip so it's in line with your left. Can you send more energy into your right heel? Maybe you lift your heel a little higher. Your arms can fly by your side or reach forward. Then we'll move to arrow lunge. Lower your back toes. Arms fly by your side. Gaze is lowered. Then high lunge. Reach your arms overhead. Pause. Can you tuck your pelvis? Maybe there's a slight bend in your back knee or a big bend in your back knee, whatever feels best for you and your hip flexors. Reaching tall, shoulders away from your ears. Inhale. And then press back to arrow. Exhale. High lunge. Inhale. Arrow. Exhale. High lunge. Inhale. And arrow. From arrow, can you lift off to warrior three? Can you slowly lift back up to single leg mountain? And then through chair. Rise all the way up to mountain. Back to chair. Left leg lift, single leg. How slowly can you move to warrior three? Left leg extends. Can you lower your left hip? Can you send more energy through your left heel? Can you find a straight line from your crown all the way to your left heel? Hands can come to prayer, reaching out. Maybe they're on a block. Then arrow lunge, lower your back toes, arms fly by your side. High lunge, arms overhead, remembering the cues from earlier. So tucking your pelvis, engaging your core. Maybe you have a slight bend or a bigger bend in your back knee. Finding the stability here. Hips are facing forward, arms overhead, shoulders away from your ears. Inhale. Then press back to arrow, exhale. High lunge, inhale. Arrow, exhale. High lunge, inhale. Arrow, exhale. Then high lunge. And arrow. How slowly can you move back to warrior three, lifting off? Then back to single leg mountain, rising up. Then find chair and rise up to mountain. Bring your hands to prayer at heart center. Maybe you place your thumbs on your chest. Notice your heartbeat. Notice what it feels like to breathe now compared to the very beginning of practice. Before we officially cool it down, we'll do 2 balance poses, one on either side. So pick the pose that feels best for you. I'll offer some options. You can do tree pose, placing your foot above or below your knee, or even kickstanding it onto the mat. Just making sure not to place your foot on your knee because it won't feel very good. Other options are single leg mountain. Some variations are maybe to grab your knee. You know, there's some options here. Maybe you grab your toe if you have the flexibility. Other options are a standing figure 4 or a classic dancer's pose. Placing same hand, same ankle, and then leaning forward and extending that way. So you've got some options. Pick the balance pose that feels best for you. We'll start with our left leg lifted. Today I will do a standing figure 4. So my left ankle will go over my right knee and I'll settle into it. We're here for 5 deep breaths. And after your last breath, slow and steady, release the pose. Shake it off, find your center. And we'll switch to the other side. Right leg will lift this time. So for me, my right ankle is going over my left knee. I'm flexing my right foot and then sitting lower into the seated figure 4. Whatever pose you choose, we're here for 5 breaths. And then slow and steady, bringing yourself out of it. Awesome job. Let's meet in mountain pose. Feet gently apart. Roll through your shoulders. Up and back. Then switch the direction, up and forward. Then roll through your wrists. Maybe you make tight fists. And then switch the direction. Shake out your wrists and find some stillness. Lift your left hand over, lean to the right, inhale. Maybe your gaze lifts and then back through center, exhale. Right hand lifts, inhale. Through center to transition, exhale. 2 more each side. Left hand lifts, inhale. Transition, exhale. Right hand lifts, inhale. Release, exhale. Last time through, left hand lifts. And release. Right hand lifts. And release. Nice job. Bring your chin to your chest. Take a breath in. Look to the ceiling. Take a breath. Right ear, right shoulder Take a breath. Left ear, left shoulder. And then slowly begin to find a seat. Make sure there's room behind you so that you can lay all the way back. But we'll meet in a seated position. So keeping your knees bent, begin to slowly lean back, finding boat pose. You can stay here with your knees bent, or you can extend your legs fully if you have that strength. Let's see, maybe I have it today. Then we'll go to low boat, high boat, low boat, high boat, low boat. 2 more, high boat, low boat, high boat, and lower all the way down. Releasing into the mat. Seated figure 4, begin to bend your knees and plant your feet. Left ankle over right knee, thread the needle. One more big deep breath. And then we'll switch sides. Right ankle over left knee. Thread the needle. One more big deep breath. Then release the pose and lift your legs all the way up so that the soles of your feet are reaching toward the ceiling. Bring your arms out to a T or goalpost arms at your side. Then lower your knees to a 90-degree angle, supine twist. Lower your knees to the right side, slow and steady, using your core. And then when you get there, allow your shoulders to be glued to the mat. And shift your gaze to the left side, knees to the right, gaze to the left. Send your breath along your spine. And then slowly and with control, begin to lift your knees back up through center using your core. And lower to the left side, gaze to the right. Knees to the left, gaze to the right, shoulders glued to the mat. Breathe deep. And then slowly come back to center. We'll find happy baby. Your hands find the outsides of your feet. Lift the soles of your feet to the ceiling. Allow your low back to stay pressed into the mat. Feeling this stretch in your hips, your groin. We're here for a few deep breaths, so option to maybe find some movement or keep it still. And then begin to find butterfly, bringing the soles of your feet together, and allow your hands to guide your legs down. Let your knees settle to the outside of your mat, adjusting your hips, adjusting your shoulders, letting your arms fly by your side, relaxing and settling further into the mat and the floor below you. Take a deep, full breath in. And then exhale, let it go. One more breath, inhale and exhale. Keep breathing and just listen to my voice. Close your eyes or soften your gaze if you haven't already. And begin to bring some awareness to the very top of your head, the crown of your head. And then send your awareness between your eyebrows. Now send your awareness to the back of your neck. Now send your awareness to the middle of your back. Bring your awareness to your heart. Bring your awareness to your shoulders. Bring your awareness to the palms of your hands. Noticing the sensations in the palms of your hands. Can you feel your blood pulsing through your veins? Maybe you feel a tingle or a soft heat. I invite you to place one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. And for the next deep breaths, I invite you to imagine that as you breathe in, a warm, bright white light grows out of your hands and spreads over your body. And as you exhale, that light seeps into your skin and fills you up with cleansing, positive energy. And if that visual doesn't work for you, then just place your hand on your belly and your hand on your chest and breathe and settle in. This practice is for you, so you have the permission to take what you need and leave the rest behind. So whatever you choose, let's breathe together. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Begin to release your legs long. Release your arms back down by your side for final resting pose, Shavasana. Here in final resting pose, you can fully absorb all the goodness from our practice today. So for about 5 deep breaths in stillness, just take it all in. I'll guide us out with a few words. Begin to bring your awareness back into the room. Wiggle your fingers, blink your eyes open. Roll over to one side. Maybe use your arm as a pillow. And then slowly rise to seated position. Thank you so much for flowing with me today. That's all I've got. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the day and the week ahead. Namaste, my friend, and I'll see you next time.